welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you joined me today. Today I want to talk about 30 different winter and holiday activities that you guys can do that will make you feel like everything is a little bit more normal and give you some sense of regular holiday and winter fun. So I've broken it down into 3 categories. The first one is outdoors, the second is indoors, and the third is local activities. So without further ado, let's get to the list. For the outdoors, a lot of these have to do with snow. If you live somewhere that doesn't snow, just go ahead and skip over all of the outdoor activities and head right on to indoors, unless you can somehow find some fake snow. Some really fun things to do in the winter outside are sledding and tubing. These are really good ones. You can either go to a place that runs it for you and you get taken up the hill and then you can slide down and keep going, or you could totally just buy an inner tube or a sled from Walmart or something like that and find some hills and go slide down. I always really like tubing. I think that it's really fun. It requires no skill, and I don't have any skill, so that's really good for me. Another one that's a little bit redneck but can be super fun is to take your 4-wheeler or ATV vehicle, attach a tube or a sled to it on a rope, and take it around a field. My grandpa lives on a farm, so this is something that we've done before, and it was really, really fun. If you don't have those things accessible to you, you could just go sledding or tubing the normal people way, but if you can do something like this, it is really fun. Some classic outdoor activities: building a snowman and having a snowball fight. These are ones that you can totally just do right in your backyard, and they're really fun and get the family involved and kind of mess around a little bit. It's a really good time. One that is a little bit more athletic is snowshoeing. I've never personally been, but my mom goes quite often. She really likes it. We do have a couple of pairs of snowshoes, so I think that I might give it a whirl this year, try it out, see what the hype is about, and get in some exercise outside. The last one on the list can be totally done if you have snow or if you don't, and it's ice skating. Most of the time, ice skating rinks are man-made. Sometimes, of course, people do it on lakes and stuff, but if you don't live where it gets really cold, man-made ones are great. A lot of times they're indoors, super fun, a great date as well. And I personally think that ice skating is a bit easier than roller skating is. I don't like roller skating. There's too many people. It's super crowded. People are way too into it and they get in my way. Ice skating, though, I feel like everyone respects each other a little bit more on the rink. I don't know. That's what I've noticed in the past, but I do think that it's really fun and you end up getting pretty good at it by the end of your time there. Okay, on to category number 2, which is the indoor activities. These are kind of my jam, you guys. I'm an indoors kind of girl. I don't know about you guys. It's really cold outside. I love the snow, I really do, but I just want to be cozy inside and watch the snow fall outside because I think it's beautiful, but I don't know if I want to be that cold all the time. Some indoor activities that I think could be really great are baking and cooking with new recipes or doing some old family favorites that you love. I'm sure that everybody has some recipes that you always make around the holidays. So what I think would be fun is to swap those family recipes with a friend and try each other's out and see what you think of them. And also, what could be really exciting is to do like a contest with your family, like best Christmas cookies or hot chocolate or something like that, kind of bring everybody into it and make it a big fun thing. You could also make like a big elaborate breakfast or brunch. I know that most people do dinner for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day dinner and things like that, but it would be fun to kind of bring in breakfast to it because honestly, breakfast is my personal favorite meal of the day. So to get everybody in the kitchen, making something and having a big sit-down feast, I think would just be really fun, especially if it's brunch because it's a little bit different than what most people do. To kind of go along with food, I saw this idea online to have an indoor picnic and I thought it was just the cutest thing ever. They set up blankets all over the floor, they made food, they did like mock takeout, so they made some takeout recipes that were similar to some of their favorite restaurants and sat on the floor. They put on a movie. You don't have to, obviously, but they just had a cute little picnic inside. And I thought that was so fun, because a lot of times the problem with picnics is that flies are getting in your food, bugs are getting in your food, all that crap. So inside is a great idea, and I think it's something that's a little bit unique. It's basically dinner on the floor, but who doesn't want that, right? Another great thing to do is to learn something new. So my boyfriend for the last few months has been super into painting. I don't know why. He picks up these different hobbies. But anyway, he's been really into painting. He's gotten me to paint with him a couple of times, and it's been really fun. I am not artistic in the least. I don't paint or draw or anything like that well, but I had a good time. We followed some tutorials that we found, and it was really fun. And I think that anybody could do it and just try it out. It's a great indoor activity. Another thing that you could try out is sewing. My little brother got a sewing machine for an early Christmas present from my grandma, because he's been wanting to get more into sewing, but you could totally hand sew or stitch on something that you already own, like a denim jacket or something like that. Could be really fun. Just to get you to try out some new hobbies, this is a perfect time to do it, because you're inside most of the time. Besides your little spurts of winter activities, it's really cold out. Most of the time you're gonna be inside, but trying out new things can make you feel really accomplished when you do well, or you can laugh at yourself when you don't do that great, but I think it could be really fun and exciting. Another thing that I want to throw in is reading. I personally love to read. I know that this is hot and cold for people. You either absolutely love it or you absolutely hate it, but I love it. And especially in the winter, when you just cozy up in a blanket, drink some hot cocoa. It's a good activity to do by yourself. Sometimes holidays are overwhelming because you've got family all around all the time, even winter in general, because you're all kind of cooped up together all at once. So doing something for yourself can be really nice, and it helps you take yourself out of your world for a minute and dive into a good story. So I love to read. I highly recommend it. Something that I love always, but especially around winter and around the holidays, is playing games. When my brother and I were kids, we used to always get a new board game for Christmas. Go to a store, grab a new board game, or go to the game closet, pull out some old favorites. My brother and I love to just pull out a pile of games and then take turns picking which one we're going to play next. And it's a really great way for us to bond, especially now that we're older. We don't spend quite as much time together, and it always means a lot to me, and I love doing that. And playing with family and with friends as well can be something that's really fun. Gets everybody involved. You can either do games that are more intellectual or do games that are really funny and make everybody laugh and just have a really good time. A classic to do over Christmas especially is to watch Christmas movies, but you can bring this into all winter, watch a bunch of different movies, have different marathons. Obviously, you should be drinking hot cocoa while you're watching your movies. Basically, this whole list is just ways that I can drink more hot cocoa. I love hot chocolate, and I probably drink too much of it, but honestly, like, who doesn't want to curl up and watch the Polar Express during the hot chocolate scene and drink hot chocolate? I do. Another great thing to do to give back is to make or buy Christmas presents or holiday gifts in general. I think that the idea of making them can be really fun. It's also an extra activity for you to do, which is awesome. I personally love to do baking for like neighbors. If you're in school, you could bake for teachers or classmates and coworkers. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but it comes from the heart, and it means a lot to people when they receive something both delicious and meaningful. So I would definitely do some baking this winter, because also it fills your home with the smell of cookies and deliciousness. So who doesn't want that? In the midst of buying all of these presents, making all these presents, do something for yourself. This is super important. I know that winter is really hard for a lot of people because they feel like they can't do anything. They're cooped up inside. Part of why this list is really great. Helps you think of something that you can totally do to give yourself an activity, give yourself something fun. But with presents, get yourself something. Doesn't have to be anything crazy or big, but maybe it's something that you've been looking at, that you've been wanting. Treat yourself to a Christmas present. It'll make you happy. You'll get something that you want. It's a win-win situation. I think that something that's really important, especially this year with all of the craziness going on and not being able to do everything that we want to all the time, I think that traditions are really important. Do things that you normally do to make you feel like this year is normal. Basically, I just think that you should do some classic traditions that you've always done, and it'll make you feel more at home for the holidays. Also, on that same note though, try out some new traditions. This could be the same thing, swapping traditions, like swapping recipes with some friends of yours. My family always gets pajamas for Christmas. I would tell my friend about that, and then they would maybe do that, and then my friend could tell me about one of her traditions, and we could swap them and try them out and see what we think. I think that that's a fun way to try out some new things and be a little bit creative and fun and have some new experiences. The last one on the indoors list is to make some 2021 resolutions. I know that a lot of people don't stick to their resolutions, and then it's just kind of silly and dumb, but I think that if you make resolutions in a way that you will follow them, you'll feel accomplished, you'll be happy that something is going your way in life and you're moving towards your goals. I think that a great thing to do would be, if it's something about exercising or eating better, you can set a goal to exercise twice a week. That's not anything crazy. It's way more feasible than saying, I'm gonna exercise every day. And then when you don't do that, you feel bad. But if you say, I'm gonna exercise twice a week, you exercise twice a week, you feel good about yourself, maybe you start to exercise more, but you'll always have that twice a week that you can fall back on, that you know you're gonna do. Anything that you can actually accomplish is going to make yourself feel so much better when you do, instead of feeling really disappointed when you don't reach those goals that you've set for yourself. Okay, that's everything for my indoors list. Now on to category number 3, which is the locals list. I love to plan things, and I need to plan things in order for my mental health to be in a good state. I love to have things to look forward to, and that's really important to me. I think that it's important to a lot of people to just have things that they're looking toward in the future that are going to make them happy and be a good time. So one of my favorite things to do is plan vacations, but another great thing to do is staycations. So obviously this is the local category. I'm not telling you to go travel somewhere crazy. This is things like, oh, you live maybe an hour away from the nearest big city, or up a mountain to a cabin, something like that. My boyfriend and I are planning a staycation right now, and it's making me feel so excited for things that are coming up. And also, going out of town for even a night or 2 nights, just the weekend, will break your routine a little bit, make you feel like you're not doing the same thing every single day, and they're fun. They're exciting things to do. It's not like you have to go do crazy activities, but you can explore the city for a day, go shopping, eat lots of good food, and it's just a really good time. It always makes me really happy. Next up is to support your town. So I know that a lot of cities and towns do like Christmas light parades or drive-throughs. Totally check those out. Parades are obviously normally free. The drive-through ones have a cost, but they go towards your city, and I think that it's great to support locally. Also, for free, you can totally just drive around to different streets, see some pretty Christmas lights. Christmas makes my heart so happy. I love the jolliness of it all. So driving around to see some fun Christmas lights is really great. Also, you can drink hot cocoa while you do it. Also, main streets oftentimes decorate really cute for Christmas and the holidays, so driving down and just checking it out can be something that's really fun. Another couple of things that you can do are find some local events. So there's an event near me that does a Christmas light walkthrough, and they've got a bunch of cool setups, and you stop and make s'mores and have hot chocolate again, and there's little gift shops and things like that. They had a gingerbread house contest last year that was super cute, but things like that are always really fun, get you out of the house again, but they bring in the Christmas spirit a little bit. Last couple of things that you guys can do this winter. I know that there's a place near me that has a really cool old train that does different train tours. So they do like a Polar Express themed one, which, you know, back to my hot chocolate thing. And you can just drink hot cocoa, ride on the train, see some pretty winter scenery, and that's a really cool thing to do as well. There's also some ice castles near me, which are super cool. I've never been, but I'd love to go see something really pretty that's obviously winter themed. And I know that there's a lot of other things like baking competitions, things like that, where you can go and support some local artisans. So that's something that's really cool to do as well. So that is my entire list. I hope you guys have found some inspiration from here that you want to try out this winter and this holiday season that you think would be really fun. Get you to do something new, break your routine, have a good time this holiday season. Even though it's really cold outside, you can still find really cool and fun things to do. So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I will see you all right back here next week. Bye.